Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode from the Hermitcraft server. Our little starter cave, our hidey hole, has been pretty much cleared out. I've done some work between episodes, getting our storage room that we started last episode pretty much all moved in. It's not done as far as the decorative side of it goes. We still need to do some work on that in today's episode, which is the plan. That's what we're going to do. But I've got pretty much all of my items moved over. And it's looking good. I also expanded this. At the end of last episode, I had 3 sections, right? And I added a 4th one because as I was moving stuff over, I was like, you know what? I'm going to run out of chests for all the stuff that I want to have a chest for. So I expanded it. I may even end up expanding it one more time after we get farther along and get a bunch of stuff moved in, but it's pretty straightforward. Every item, well, not every item, but most items have one chest. Like I've got the iron chest and the coal chest and so on and so forth. And then once I hit capacity, like with stone, I just fill a shulker box and add that in. So with the addition of shulker boxes, one double chest will be enough to store an exorbitant amount of any given resource. So it works out pretty well. But this place is looking pretty barren. It's pretty boring. It's pretty undetailed, and it's not very interesting. The arches are nice. I like the arches. But we need to do some work with the ceiling and the floor and just making this place look a lot better. And that's what I want to work on in today's episode. And then I'm thinking also we may work on a little bit, or at least get started on a little bit of something else as well. So let's kind of dive into it here. I went ahead and I filled in the ceiling mostly. You can see there's some little walkways up there because all I did was take the stone and basically cover up these pockets. But what I want to do is basically transform this into kind of like an underground cave type thing. So let's grab a little bit of stone. Let's grab a little bit of cobblestone. And maybe some cobblestone stairs. And actually, we're going to want some cobblestone fences as well. And you know what? This chest, we can afford. We have a ton of extra space left over in there. Let's just do this. And that'll actually open up a shulker box. Speaking of which, I don't think I actually have a thing to store shulker boxes in. I just realized that. Maybe we'll say this is going to be the spare shulker box chest. I like that idea. Okay, so if this was a cave, right, or that had been maybe dug out and expanded a little bit with some supports added, I feel like it would kind of rise up from here, and it would be a little higher at the center point, which would be this line, right? So what I'm thinking is we're going to go, also sneaky hidden crafting bench over here. Let's just make a bunch. Let's just make a bunch of slabs, and then let's make some fences as well. There we go. So what I'm thinking is like over here, maybe like here, we kind of do something like this. And we want this to look as natural as we can. We don't want it to be really like, how would you say? We want it to be organic. We want it to have an organic feel to it if we can. Sometimes that's much easier said than done, but we're going to try our best. So let's go maybe here. We'll maybe do something like that. Maybe we add a stair here with some slabs, right? And then here we do a stair. Here we do a stair. And maybe we even add some slabs like so, right? Basically just kind of building that up a little bit, right? Now, there's other things we're going to have to do as well. So like we're going to have to kind of come in here and probably add a little bit of cobblestone up into the actual textures of the roof or of the ceiling if we can. We may also want to grab a little bit of andesite to mix in there as well, because that's a a really good texture for this sort of thing to make it look, detailed and interesting. Get that nice texture variation. So something kind of like that, right? And you can see the structure is still there as far as the arches and stuff goes. But it's just a matter of kind of adding these extra details to it to make it look a little bit better. Maybe here we do something like this, and maybe we turn that one into a stair or something, right? We're just trying to kind of add these texture variations, add these different things that make this look a bit more interesting than it would if we just had it as a plain old ceiling. And then we can go in with some cobblestone walls, right? And we can add, not there, we can't, but we can add like some stalactites and things. I don't think I want any of them that go down more than 2. But just a couple of these in a few places could really make this interesting as well. Just, you know what I mean? Just a little bit here and a little bit there. We could even do some things like that. And you can see this already looks a lot more interesting than this. Interesting? Not interesting. Interesting? Not interesting. You guys get the idea. So let me do some work here detailing out the ceilings for these other sections, and then I'll be back with you. All right, guys, I am back. Check it out. The ceiling is looking good. I'm actually pretty happy with it. Like it's a pretty interesting ceiling. It gets the job done. Kind of starts a little bit lower here, and it rises up and then kind of slopes back down a little bit with a lot of texture variation and stuff like that going on. But it's a very detailed ceiling, and it gives me that kind of natural cave look that I wanted, which is good. That's awesome. That's exactly what I was going for. So now, I think the next step is I want to kind of come in here and do something similar with this pathway, right? So right here in the middle, I think we'll mix in a little bit of cobble into the path like so. This path that kind of goes down the middle a little bit. And then we're going to want to do something similar along here, I think. But this time we're going to use andesite, the unpolished andesite. Which I need more of. There we go. And that'll just give us a little bit of texture variation in the path, right? Not a lot, just a little bit, but enough that when we do what we're going to do next, it's going to kind of pop out a little bit. So this is a very gray room right now, a very gray room. And I want to try and do something about it. Here we go. Stairs there. Slabs here. And what was my plan for fences? Right here. Or for walls, not fences. I meant to say walls. There we go. So we get something going like this. We also need to sort out our lighting in this room. But we'll get to that momentarily. Now, if I had been smart, I would have done this from the get-go. But I wasn't smart. So now we have a slight issue, but nothing we can't resolve. What I want to do, I experimented with a few things between episodes. I experimented with putting water down here and putting iron bars on top of it. And then this would be like kind of a sewer, I guess you would call it. But it just didn't look good. It just wasn't a good look. So I don't want to do that. I tried it. I thought about it. It looked good in my mind. And then in practice, it looked not nearly as good. But what we could do is something like this. So we have this kind of nice wooden floor along the sides. And then that'll really make these other stone colors pop out, especially the central pathway and some of that kind of stuff. So I think this will actually look really good. Is there something back there? No, I'm imagining things. Okay, so I think this will make the other stuff look really good, the other stuff that's in this room. And we've got some random blocks that are like kind of hanging out and flying around and going into random spots, but that's okay. You can kind of see here already how much of a difference this is making. Putting this on top of wood instead, like, yeah. Let me finish getting this done to the floor, and then I'll be back. Yeah, check that out. Isn't that nice? I like it. I like it a lot. I think that looks fantastic. Okay, so we've got that all sorted out. We've got that gives us this nice contrast, which I like quite a lot. We do still need to figure out our lighting in here, though. That's very important. One option would be possibly, if I remember correctly, I believe these light gray carpets. Yeah, those are actually relatively good when it comes to blending with the stone. So we could potentially do, you know, something, well, I need a lot more light gray carpets, but we could potentially do something like that. Maybe here we do one. And then it's really just about kind of hiding lights so we can get rid of some of these torches, right? And then we need to make sure, okay, this is light level 7 right here, so that's not good. What if I put another torch right there? Will that be close enough? No, still light level 7. Okay. So this will work for lighting up the central path, but I'm going to have to sort something out over here because we definitely don't want anywhere in our storage room to be spawnable. Like that's just a terrible idea. Last thing you want is a creeper spawning and exploding in the middle of all your chests. Like, no. For obvious reasons, that just shouldn't be a thing. That doesn't look bad, though. That doesn't look bad. I think I could... Yeah. I think this will do. Maybe we get rid of that one. And maybe we put another one here and there. Just to kind of represent... I mean, I know it's wool, but just kind of to represent like a little bit of a texture variation or a little bit of a height variation in the stone of this pathway. Like, I think that could work. And that's nice. But as I said, we need to sort this out. And I don't know. I mean, I know I could hide lighting behind the chests themselves. I know that would be an option. And that may be what we ultimately end up doing. But I'd prefer to do something a bit more, like, sensible. Something that makes a little bit more sense. What about, like, a glowstone lamp? Like, regular glowstone there does not look good. It does give enough light off, though. What about up here? No. Because that's going to be covered up on half of these anyway. Like over here, you're not going to see. Well, actually, there it's visible. There it's visible. There. Maybe it would work. Because we could put a glowstone lamp up there pretty easily. Or a redstone lamp. I'm sure some of you are triggered and raging right now. Because I called it a glowstone lamp. But whatever. It's fine. Yeah, that might work. Just for a little bit of extra lighting, put some up there. I think that'll do. So we're going to need, what, 8 of these? I believe. Grab a little bit of redstone. And let's make 8 of those guys. There we go. And then, do I have any levers? Actually, they wouldn't be there. They would be in this chest. I do. Nice. Okay, awesome. So, now we have a plan. Plans are good. I like plans. Where did I steal you from? Right there. Okay. Let's grab some sort of a scaffolding block so we can actually get up there. I'm thinking we'll scaffold up right here. There we go. And you can see there's this walkway that kind of goes around the whole thing. So we should be good. We'll put one right there. And then one right there. And there. Is that 4? Nope, I missed one. I thought so. There we go. So there's one side. And let's actually put just a regular torch right there. There we go. And that should give us enough light in here that our room is entirely mob safe. I hope. I hope and pray that that is the case. That seems good, though. That seems good. Okay, so now we need to do that. And I think that's it. I don't think I had any other ones. Yeah. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. That gives us, and that should make this, yep, light level 8. Good. So that takes care of the spawnable areas in this room, which is obviously very important. So the next thing is I'd like to actually get a little bit of like foliage and maybe some vines in here. So I think what I'm going to do, let's go into our tool chest. Let's grab ourselves some shears. I've got an ender chest. I've got food. Good, good, good. And I think I'm going to head off into the world, collect myself some leaves because my leaf selection right now is pretty terrible. But I'm going to go get myself some leaves and some vines, and we'll see if maybe we can do some other stuff with this room. All right, guys, I am back. And if you were observant, you have noticed that I have a few less levels than I did before. At least I think I do. I was abandoned by my friends. Look at this. Look. Oh, it doesn't show the chat log. Oh, because I logged out to fix a ghost block. I asked them to sleep. Look at all the people online right now. I asked them to sleep, and they were all too busy doing their digging over at the Community Digging Project, or AFKing at their fishing farms, or whatever it is that they're doing. No one could sleep, and as a result, I got creepered. Didn't lose anything, though, stuff-wise, just lost a little bit of experience. Not a big deal. And I did gather enough leaves that we can continue with this project. So I'm going to grab a couple stacks of oak leaves, and then I also grabbed a few birch leaves as well, because if you look at them, right, we look at these two side by side. They have the same texture. They're just a little bit of a different color, and I think the two of them, therefore, go together very well. And as far as, blending textures and stuff like that, let's also grab some vines and a little bit of string, because if we're going to use vines, then we pretty much need to use string as well. Otherwise, it's just going to look terrible. Now, I want to have a banner here and here on each side of this armor, so I don't want to put anything there. But let's see what we can kind of work out here. Maybe we can get a little something going. I'm thinking it'd be kind of cool if we had just a little bit of foliage, maybe even like in front of the lights, just a little bit kind of hanging down. Oh, that's kind of nice. I like it. Maybe like that. And then up here, maybe there and here. And then maybe one, those are slabs. Maybe one like that as well, right? The idea is just to get a little bit of color differentiation up into the ceiling and just give you something that kind of draws your eyes up there so that you notice all this detail that we did. Because we did a whole bunch of work on the ceiling, right? We spent all this time making the ceiling look nice. Like, we want people to look up there and go, oh, wow, there's stuff. So we can add a little bit of this foliage just to make it kind of look, a little bit better. And I think we don't need a ton of it. We don't need a lot, just a little bit here and there. Just kind of mix it around a little, Maybe one there as well. How's that look? Yeah, I'm liking that. I'm liking that. I think that's good. I'm thinking that's good. I don't want to do any more than that. Otherwise, it's gonna be too much. Too much for sure. And then what we can maybe do is, like, up here, we can maybe do something like that, right? Just get some vines kind of around, like so. Maybe one up here as well, just to kind of add a little bit to that. And then we put string down. Oh, that's going to get in the hit. I didn't think of that, though. That's going to get in the way of the hit boxes of the chests as we're trying to open the chests. Maybe we go without the vines. We will be using vines. I need to make a vine farm at some point while we're on the subject of vines. I need to do that. But I'm thinking maybe we don't go with the vines. Because if we do, it's going to cause us problems. These hit boxes are small enough as it is, trying to get the chests behind the item frames. I don't think I want to mess with that and make it harder on ourselves. So then the other thing we can do to add a little bit of interest and detail here. Oh, I forgot that there's still water down here. Oh well, that's fine. We can do something like this, right? Just kind of mix in some of these other textures. This is, I think, the same mix that Iskall used pretty heavily in his base in the Mesa last season. And it's a great mix. This blend, the spruce, the oak logs, and then some coarse dirt, which we'll get to momentarily. That's such a nice mix. It just goes so well. Speaking of coarse dirt, let's grab some of the dirt and some of the gravel, and let's make ourselves some coarse dirt. Beautiful. Then we'll grab a little bit of this. And what we can do here, maybe right there. We don't want a ton of this. We don't want a ton of coarse dirt. I just want a little. Maybe one here as well. Here, here, here. Right? Just a little bit. And then on some of them, we'll maybe put a little bit of grass. Just a tiny bit. Right? And we could, well, as we, you'll see, as we work our way through this room, you'll see how it gets blended. Maybe this one, for example, would have a grass on it just to, well, maybe not. Maybe I'd rather put you, I feel like that should be a coarse dirt. And that should be a spruce log. Like so. And then we can maybe put a coarse dirt here. Is that going to get in the way? No. So if the grass stays on these two layers right here, these little tufts of grass, it's not going to mess with the coarse dirt too much, or it won't mess with the hitboxes. So that'll work well. Let me finish getting that done to the rest of this room. All right, guys, I am back. Check it out. Is this not looking beautiful? I love it. I absolutely love it. We've got like this secret little alcove. I don't know what you'd even call it necessarily. I also want to mix a little bit of mossy stone brick in, and I think, if I remember correctly, we'll see, but I'm pretty sure you can make mossy stone brick now. If I remember correctly, it's like that. It's like that. That's a bit more expensive than I thought, but we don't need a ton of them. So just a little bit of the mossy stone, maybe down at kind of ground, closer to the ground. We get a little bit more of the mossy stone, like that. Just a little. We don't want a ton, but mix a little bit of this in here and there. Just kind of towards this bottom level of these columns. In fact, I think that's a little too much. Let's put a regular stone brick back there. Yeah, you can kind of see here what we're going for, right? Just sort of a little like these kind of weathered pillars that have been here for a really long time. Just kind of to add some interest. That's really what it comes down to. I think that looks good. Maybe over here we do another batch of mossy, and then maybe there, right? Yeah, that looks nice. That looks so nice. Oh, I love it. Okay, so we've got ourselves a pretty fancy little build here. I like it. This turned out really well, actually. Better than I thought it would. Now I need to put my special blocks back. We'll put those in there. And a site in there. Oh, it's so much easier to do organization once you have a system, right? Once you have a place to put everything, it's so easy to get organized and then stay organized. But I like this a lot. I think this is super awesome. Like, this is such a cool room. And then once we have banners here, I've got a couple ideas for banners that I came up with myself. But if you have banner suggestions, send them to me on Twitter for sure. I'm always open to suggestions. In fact, in some ways, I'd almost rather do a viewer banner than one I came up with, because there are a limited number of ways that we can really get that kind of interaction where you guys really get to play like a pivotal role in something that gets built here. And banners are one way that we can really do that. So if you have an idea for a banner for this castle kingdom base thing, remember our highlight colors are green and yellow, although I would consider possibly changing them if we can't come up with a nice green and yellow banner. But if you have ideas, I'd love to get banner suggestions. Also, our cactus farm. Check this bad boy out. This thing is producing cactus. I checked on it a minute ago and I was blown away. I have not spent that much time in fact, I haven't spent any time like just AFK here. I've spent maybe a couple hours since the cactus farm was fully operational. I don't know, maybe 5 hours or something? One full chest already and working on the second. That's just insane. We have so much cactus. We have like all the cactus. Maybe I'll open a cactus shop at some point. Or I'll put some up. Maybe I'll make like a community resource center where we can just put whatever resources we want to donate for everyone to use. That could be really cool. I like that idea. But anyway, guys, unfortunately, I am out of time for this episode. So my friends, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I do appreciate it, and it really helps out my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. There are links in the video description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll definitely see you next time.